Hello everyone. This is Suresh Ramani from TechGyan. In this hybrid world, one of the biggest concerns which customers have is on preventing leakage of data. And one of the biggest sources of data happens to be documents. So in the video today, we are going to show you some of the features available by which you can prevent the leakage of your content which is stored in your documents. So how we are going to structure it is that we are going to show you the actual demo where I have my team which is going to help me in showing the things, the actual demo. So without further ado, let's get started off. First thing which you need to do whenever you are setting up this is to set up multi-factor authentication. What do I mean by that? It means that when your documents are going to be at two places. Team documents will be in SharePoint. Personal documents will be in OneDrive. So your file server documents will go to SharePoint and your My Documents will go to OneDrive. Once you have your documents at these two places, then you need to set up multi-factor authentication by which first level is passwords, which can be broken and they are broken and compromised. But second level would be either OTP or some app which will, which person has to log in. So this will reduce the compromise of password by 99.4%. Having set up MFA, now let us look at how you can prevent a user from deleting a file. Yeah, Sama, can you please share the screen, please? Okay, now there is a user known as Amit, as you can see on the screen. Amit is the user who has this document library. And when you try to look at the options, Amit does not have any option to delete. If you see, there is no option to delete the file. By this, we are preventing Amit from deleting any document. Can we go to the second user, please? OK. The same user, now the same library, now the user is Saima. Now, can we look at the options available to Saima, please? So same document, the delete option is available there. So we can make it granular. So one user can have the option to delete. One set of users will not have the option to delete. Now, let us look at for Saima, uploading a file. Do you have the option of uploading the file, Saima? Can you show that? Yes. You can see Saima has the option to upload files from the computer or from somewhere else into this document library. You can upload files, upload folders. Now, can we look at Amit, please? The same option for Amit. Yeah. Now, the same option for Amit. As you see, there is no option available to Amit to upload a file or a folder. Similarly, not just upload a file for a folder, even creation option is not available to create a new file and folder to Amit. That's also not there. Now, does Amit have the option to download a file? Can we look at that, please? No, Amit does not have the option to download a file. So can we now look at the user to Saima and see whether the option is available to Saima? Yes, this is Saima, and Saima does have the option to download a file. Next, we are going to see how we can share files internally and externally with specific permissions. Saima, can you just show the option of sharing internally, externally a file with specific permissions, please? Yeah, so when Saima is looking at this option, she has various options. Anyone can link, people within the company, specific people. So there are various options available, and she can, have so many other options by which she can create a link. And once she creates a link and shares it with the people concerned, and she can set the expiration date, which means once that link is shared with the people concerned, they will only be able to access that link only for the certain time period. So this is something which you can be very, very specific with internal as well as external users. Sama, could we go to Amit and see whether these options are available to Amit? Okay. Now here, when we are trying to share, when we are trying to share, we are getting absolutely the options only with specific. See the link, most of the options are unavailable here. So this way we can have it very, very granular and ensure that only people with right access are able to share it or not. Now, can we look at specific files and folders? Now you can also have an option whereby you can, ensure that certain files, folders are not visible to certain people. Now, for example, now can we look at what Saima has here? Yeah, this is SAMA. So when you're looking at SAMA, there are three folders seen: confidential, test one, and test two, right? So these are the folders, and within the folders, you could probably click one of the folders and show some files within that or whatever. So essentially, SAMA has access to multiple folders and multiple files which are within that. Can we look at the option of Amit, please? So when you look at Amit, out of three, you can only see one folder. The other two folders are not seen at all. So this shows how you can give granular permission to ensure that you give differential access to differential people. Now let us look at an important aspect, which is audit logs. Uh, so in the audit logs, you have host of options available. So Sama, can you go to the audit logs, please? So in these audit logs, you can set up a certain date range. And once you have set up the date range, you have various options available. So could you just click that activities and show, okay, there are various options available here. You want to see, for example, who has created files, who would access. So yeah, so who has created, then who has edited, deletion options. So this, by this, you can audit and create reports which will give you specific information about a usage in a particular confidential document library and documents. So that really helps you in getting visibility into the data. Now, you can also allow and block domain level sharing. So if you really want that, okay, I want a particular document library to be, blocked at the domain level. So here you can actually specify and say that a particular user, okay, now, for example, now Saima is trying to share the document with the Gmail account, and here the message comes in that your organization doesn't allow sharing with people who use this email domain. So we have specified that @gmail.com you should not be able to share. Similarly, you could specify domains which will prevent people from. So now we just select something else. Okay. Now here again, it is saying that services at the rate XYZ is this ID is outside your organization. Now, whether you allow or not allow is something which can be decided. So at the complete company level, you can decide that, OK, what we want to do as a policy. Now, having seen the allow and block domain option, now let us look at the essentially the alert policy. Can we look at the alert policy, please, where what kind of alerts can be generated? So the idea is that if there is any modification, deletion, or downloading, and for a particularly uh, sensitive document library, there will be an alert generated, and this alert will go as a email notification once the policy matches. So here what is saying, a file DLP features has been modified by Amit Chaudhary. So we wanted that this sensitive document, whenever there is any editing happening, an alert should get generated. So this way the alert can get generated and it will alert the, the person concerned, the admin. Here is an alert when a file has been deleted. So Ram is another user. He has deleted a particular file and the alert was generated, and the alert was sent to the admin as an email alert essentially. So, this again helps you in preventing data loss from happening. And now if there is a particular uh, alert in terms of particular file high severity, you can define certain severities as high, low, medium. So certain high severity alert from a particular sensitive location, if it happens, again there is a alert which happens there. So these are various alerts which you have seen, which will again give you an idea that okay, something is happening which you need to be aware of. Now next, let us look at the synchronization option. So as a flexible option, you have an option of, synchronizing, keeping an offline copy of particular files and folders. So here you see there's a document library and there's a sync option available. So can we look at this, please? Okay, there's a sync option available in user one. Now, same document library, same stuff. When you go to another user and look at the option available, you see sync option missing. What this means is we can decide at particular document library level whether you want those documents to be given the option of being synced locally or not being synced locally. This again helps you in preventing data loss through offline syncing, right? So these were some of the features which are helpful for document prevention. Now let's look at some more features. Uh, Version history. So can I call upon Ram to please show the version history here? Or before that, can we look at, since Saima is there on the call, can we look at the legal hold, please, here, Saima? Legal hold. First of all, let me explain to you what is the meaning of legal hold. We'll go to the legal hold compliance center. So here is a legal hold. It means that even at the back end, once you activate this for particular libraries, at the back end, a backup copies are maintained of the particular files or particular folders. So this is extremely useful in case of compliance, because even if the user were to accidentally or maliciously delete files, a copy is being maintained at the back end from where you can always restore. So that was about legal hold. Can we look at the e-discovery part, please? E-discovery becomes very useful when you want to do a tenant level search. So, you can give a tenant level search and say that, okay, I would like a particular keyword or a particular, you can give a name to the e-discovery. Supposing, there is a compliance inquiry which comes in and you want to do a search of all the SharePoint documents and you choose a particular file locations or a library location. And then once you run the e-discovery, the information will be fetched across your company from all the users, and you'll pretty much get a list here which will tell you that, okay, this is what the e-discovery data is telling you. This saves you a huge amount of compliance related time and helps you in ensuring that you have the information available to you, whether it is for internal audit purposes or for external audit purposes. So this was about e-discovery. So Simon, now finally, I want you to look at the label part. So there is a sensitivity labels, which, okay, that is something which probably Ram will show. So Simon, first, can you show from your login the library which Ram will then show from his login? Sensitivity labels, where you can go to knowledge management. Okay. So here, when we look at the teams, Sama does have an access to knowledge base, and she can actually go to the files. She can go and edit, okay, because she has the right kind of access available. The labels protection does not apply to her. So she can go here and she can go to the sensitive documents like SOPs and deployment guides and open something, edit something, download something, because she has those particular rights. So because we have not, so Saima has got the rights. Now, Saima, thank you very much for the demos. Now, can I now ask Ram to please share his screen and show the same document libraries and other where the labels are applied, please? Okay, now Ram is at the knowledge management library. He really doesn't have, he can't do much here. So he cannot edit, he cannot delete. Everything is read only for him. Okay, he cannot do pretty much open it in a, let's say there's a Word document, he tries to open the document in Word or Excel. So can you please open? No, he can't even. Yeah, so opening also, the challenge is he can't open it in the, he can only open in the browser. So the protection here is that since he cannot open the app, he can't download it on the local. Now you try to delete it, edit it, again that option is not there. So this is the kind of protection which is available, so that through the label content we can prevent that. Ram, now let's move to the OneDrive and see the version history and other things, please. Let's look at version history if you can. Yeah. So when you look at a particular version history for documents, you can have multiple versions of a particular document available. So thereby, if you have something which is there, now here you are seeing that there are, three versions, version 1, version 2, version 3, three versions created, and depending on what you want, you could pretty much open that and recover that version. So you maintain a policy and say, okay, I would like so many versions of the document to be maintained, and those will be done pretty much automatically. Ram, can we look at, password protection and share links, although Sam has shown it? If you can show, let's go ahead and see that. So here you got this option, and there you can, set a password expiry date, like it should expire on particular day. And then what will happen is you just, ultimately, even a link is available to a particular person. That link will be only be available for a particular time period. After that, it will not be available. This again helps you in having a complete control over your password protection as well as expiry. Now, there is one particular option which I would like to talk about. Yeah, thanks, Ram. I think we are good on this. So now probably you can stop sharing the screen. I will just mention one last point before we close out the demo for today. One other option, one other issue which customers have told us is that when someone were to delete few files or a large amount of files, uh, then what happens is, in this case, a notification goes, because otherwise if you don't know about a deletion happening, then you really can't do much about it. But if there are some sensitive libraries available and you want to take some action, you could do that at absolutely, by doing the needful. So this will again help you in preventing the leakage of documents, because you don't want your sensitive documents to be deleted also. What if some maliciously deleted files are there by a person? It can really cause a lot of problems to the customer. So I hope that the demo today was able to give you a fairly good idea in terms of different ways in which you will be able to protect the content which is there in your documents. Over the next few videos, we are going to talk about some other ways in which we can prevent data loss from happening. And I do hope that this will be useful to you, and have a wonderful day and a great year ahead. And thank you very much for listening.